Hi, my name is Michael Appleton. I'm Principal of Kingsley College and we have a fantastic distance program for students from prep all the way up to year 12. Distance creates a fantastic opportunity for learning at home, and it's something that we're getting more and more inquiries about all the time. So we wanted to do this video which would introduce you to our learning environment and answer a lot of commonly asked questions. Okay, so now I'd like to show you what our online learning environment looks like. This is an example of what the student sees when they click on one of their classes. And there's a class for each subject. In this case, it's Year 7 Maths. The first thing they'll see is what we call the stream. And that's a place where class announcements are made, anything the teacher wants to communicate to the entire class, or anytime something's updated, it appears here. It's also possible for a student to click in here and ask the teacher a question, and the teacher can reply, and everybody gets to see the answer. So we're all benefiting from questions being asked. The next tab over is classwork, and that starts off with a course outline. So it's got all of the key information about the unit, key assessment dates, and other information that is needed for the class. Following on from that, it's then broken down into each week. And at the start of every week is a checklist. I encourage all students to print out their checklist. One, you get a lot of pleasure from ticking things off as you do them, but also when mum and dad ask how you're going with your English or maths or whatever subject, they can say, here I am, this is where I'm up to, and it shows everybody what's happening. Some checklists are broken down with an activity for each day, and sometimes it's just something to do for the entire week, but it depends on the class. Once we're getting actually into the learning, sometimes there's videos, readings, other links that are in the classroom to do. Sometimes there's links to other providers for those learning materials. So it starts with the checklist, it tells the student what to do, and then we go from there into our learning materials. The other thing we've got is there's a Zoom meeting every week. For primary, there's one Zoom meeting a week with the teacher. In high school, there's a Zoom meeting for each subject with each teacher every week. So the link is here in the classroom, and then afterwards there is a video of that Zoom meeting that's uploaded for any students who couldn't make the meeting. And it's the same place in this area where if there's an assignment or something that the teacher wants everyone to upload, we can scan it, upload it, submit it there online, and the teacher can mark it and provide feedback. So that's really a summary of our online learning environment. So the time commitments for the learning program is based on a 6-hour day, but that can look different for different families. So some families like to start earlier and finish earlier. Some families might start later and finish later. For example, a farming family, they can work it around the farming commitments and what's happening on the farm. If there's sporting commitments, the family can work the timetable around those. Or music practice or dance practice and all of those sorts of things. There is a flexible timetable that can suit your family. So sometimes we get asked, have we got a paper-based version of our program? Our program is delivered electronically over the internet, so we do not have a printed paper version that we could post out to people. And the reason for this is it allows our program to be dynamic and flexible, responsive to students. So our teachers are seeing what the students are doing each week, and they're developing and adjusting the program as we go along. And so it's a much more dynamic program than what a paper-based program would provide. Sometimes parents worry, oh, what if my internet drops out or that sort of thing. But we don't have the rigid requirement of being online from 9 to 3. So it is possible it's not the end of the world if the internet drops out in the daytime. Normally families have been able to download what they need and the children can get on with their schoolwork for the day. If parents do live in an area where they have that intermittency with the internet, we've got strategies that we can support them with in how to get those documents downloaded so they're not having to be online all the time. So first of all, the teachers communicate with the students in the online learning environment, providing the materials and resources in that space. There's also the place there for announcements and things in the stream, and those announcements also get emailed to the students as well. Students can contact the teacher by posting a question in the online learning environment on the stream. There's also they can email the teacher directly and ask questions. If there's a need and for something urgent, we don't want anyone suffering at home, scratching their head, wondering what to do, they can get on the phone and contact the office, and we'll be able to solve the problem in a timely fashion. To get ready for the classes in the early years, there's a bit more to do. The parent will need to go online, print out whatever's needed and maybe cut some things up, that sort of thing. Just have a look over it so they're ready for the learning time with their child. In the older years, we're expecting students from grade 5 and upwards to be able to go online themselves, print out their learning materials or readings or whatever they need and be able to do that themselves. For students living in proximity to our campus here in Rockhampton, they are welcome to interact with our campus. They can join a class for a day, participate in inter-school sports, or attend excursions with the rest of the class. For some students, they'd like to come in. For those who are living in Rockhampton, they can come into the PE lesson or the art lesson, and those sorts of opportunities are available as well. Assessment can take a number of different forms depending on the age and the subject and what's happening in the unit. So if there's an exam, for example, we'll post the exam to the parent, and on the given day, they will supervise the student sitting the exam and then sign a declaration to say that the exam conditions were met and submit that back to us. If there's an online exam, it's very similar. They're supervising the student and then signing a declaration to say that it was their work. For assignments, the student may, in the high school particularly, they may be typing a document and then submitting it online. But if it's a written assessment or something on paper, that'll get scanned and uploaded for the teacher. One of the benefits of learning at home is the opportunity for parents to create those connections between the learning and real life. For example, if a child's learning how to count, there's all these opportunities around the house to be counting and doing interesting things to make the lesson go from not just our lesson time, but we're learning all day. If we're learning, for example, in science about insects and bugs, there's bugs everywhere in the backyard. We can go out and discover this amazing world that we live in. The learning isn't confined to the classroom. It's in the home, it's in the park, it's wherever we go. And so learning can take a new dimension for the child as we remove the borders and have these countless opportunities for learning every day. So in our program, we're studying the Australian curriculum. We focus on the core of the curriculum: English, maths, science and humanities. We have other curriculum areas that open up, particularly once we get to high school and going into senior. So once we get into senior, we've got the full range of maths and sciences that are available, often which are prerequisites for things like engineering, medicine and that sort of thing. We have a range of arts and humanities subjects that are available: film, TV, visual arts, those sorts of subjects which are also available for distance students. We have our humanities, ancient history, modern history, just opening up business practices. We also have subjects like design and ICT that are available as well. So studying by distance, they're not disadvantaged for opportunity. We can still, once they turn 15, can be still doing things like a school-based apprenticeship or traineeship, studying a TAFE certificate, or a whole variety of options. And if we can't provide the option, we can link with other providers who can, so that no one is missing out. Through our distance program, we have the capacity to cater for a range of learning needs. Every student's different and their learning needs vary so much. what we can do is sit down with the parent and work out a program that suits their child. The nature of our flexible distance delivery means that the student can often work at a pace that is suitable to them, and we can target the learning at a level that is most suitable to them. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. There's the opportunity, if you would like, to fill out the inquiry form below, and I'd be happy to do a personal virtual tour with you where we can talk and answer any other questions that you might have.